What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel and welcome back for more Oddsparks. Episode 27? Hang on. Let me check real quick. Pretty sure it's 27. So this is the problem with uploading, recording, batch amounts. Yeah, this will be 27. Okay, anyway. Let's get back into this. So, what did I do? Well, I was messing around a little bit more with the hauling sparks to figure out some fun things that can be done with them. And I was using the hauling sparks in conjunction with item filter amounts, like what you can see, what's right in front of me right now. I've got it set up on some of my lines so that I use an item number filter to stop them right at the point of pickup or drop off, so that way the first available action they have is to either pick up or drop off. So that way they don't waste any time going back and forth. So it's kind of just, it's useful mostly for dropping off a set number of things as opposed to getting one thing here, two things here, three things there. I found it's useful particularly in this type of a setting where I've got a certain number. Yeah, you're just kind of going back and forth because it's all stocked up. Because I'm pretty sure that our our production of Boomy Sparks is full over there. Yeah, it looks full. But anyway, I've got it set up this way because things like the elevators, they don't drop off all 20 of any given item at a time. They'll drop them off sequentially, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they'll drop them off one at a time at the very top. And if you've got your hauling spark going back and forth on the line, like they normally do, they'll pick one up, and then they'll go all the way over here, and they'll drop it off, and then they'll pick up like 6, and then they'll come back over here and drop it off. Whereas if you have this set up with an item number filter, they'll sit here and wait on this square until they can pick up, 20. In this case, it's a full stack of explosives, and then they'll start moving back along the path and dropping off. And that same methodology also applies towards zip lines as well, since they don't drop off all of any given stack all at once. So, yeah, an example of setting that up here would be if I wanted this to drop off at the first available moment, I would set up like that. So that way it just stays right here, and then it'll wait right here without wasting time going back and forth and back and forth, just trying to, drop things off. And that kind of makes it so that you also don't need to worry about, like, I don't need to worry about this anymore, I don't need to worry about this anymore. And I might do that with some of my setups. This only really works with hauling sparks or if you have a single spark on a line. Otherwise, they'll get all clogged up and stuff like that. So, like, I wouldn't be able to do it over here if I had more than one carry spark. But, yeah, anyway, so that's one of the other things I was messing around with, just to do, like, little tiny efficiency things. But, yeah, we are also full of a lot of booby sparks, so I might grab a stack of these things and see what we can do with them. How many do we hold at a time? We hold 10 at a time. Do I really want to hold on to 10 at a time for doing this? Let's grab 40 of them, and we'll see about doing some stuff. What else did I do? Well, I made more supply chests and added them along to various places. I'm pretty sure I've got all things covered as far as resources. I still have to set up Scouty Sparks for their automation, but it hasn't really been a big concern. Yeah, I've got most supplies set up that I think I would need. Got the wheels, the plates, the wood panels, the stone plates, ladders. I set those up too, which, why do I only have 13 over there? Anyway, I'll have to go mess around with that maybe. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I got everything. I've got the stone paths set up as well. I've got the the supplies from the monster farms so far, with the exception of the penguins, which I might try to do something. I'm kind of I've been scheming and trying to figure out how exactly I want to figure out a poison farm setup for monster farms and stuff like that. But that's something I've just kind of been thinking about because I haven't really set up like Scrubby or not Scrubby Sparks, the Puffy Sparks. So I might try to get started with them. Which where was that shrine? Is over here. But let's go take a look over here real quick. I set up another waypoint over here, which goes to this guy right here. This leads to my my farm that I set up for stone plates and paths. So I've got that over here. And I made this purely for stone plates. And if I wanted to section this off and move it over to something else, I easily could. But let's move over to the next thing I set up, which I think is... Ooh, whoa, whoa. Okay, it's over here. So this whole setup is just for it's just for paths, just for stone paths. That's it. So I set up a whole bunch of random things that I was experimenting with to try and work with. I've got a crossing set up here with a buffer and a not logic gate, so that way if this guy is traveling over here and he touches either one of these on this crossing, it will pause this guy for however long. I think it's 2 seconds right now on the buffer, and hopefully that'll make it so they won't run into each other on this crossing, because it can be a little bit awkward how they path around each other. But anyway, let's see, what else did I set up? I set up these less than 19 item buffers, so that way the hauling spark, when it comes back, it'll grab what it can grab, and then the second it gets over 19, in this case 20 is a full stack, it'll turn around and not waste any time going down the whole path. So you can see it skipped that last one. So I was messing around with that. Also made it so that if it doesn't pick up 20, then it'll turn around and continue until it picks up the requisite amount. So yeah, I've got two drills feeding 6 pebble manufacturing, which a little bit overkill, but it's been working. Got 2 hauling sparks on the other side, just kind of continually dropping off stones, which you can see. Yeah, we don't need 2 drills for this, I don't think. It's a little bit overkill, but it makes so that I don't have to worry about it. I've also got it set up this way with another logic circuit with an AND circuit connected to 2 quantity sensors here. These are linked up to these 2 supply chests for 160 each. They're set up for, not percentage, they're set up for absolute of 160. So if either of these chests, which I don't know which chest gets pulled from first, I think it's this one, the one on the left here, but if one of these chests get a stone path pulled, the logic sensor will then activate over here. It'll then come over here, and it'll deactivate this thrower, or not a thrower, a cannon, and then they'll stop. It'll stop throwing it over on this path, and then the hauler will stop picking it up and recycling them. So I can show that pretty quick. All I gotta do is just put down some pathing. So if I put down a path here, that's gonna deactivate this, see? So they'll still deposit into it, but only up until it fills this amount. So once this is filled to 20 or however many it is, I can't remember, then they'll bypass this and go into the supply chest. And then once this is filled again, then it will continue with launching and then recycling. So yeah, I did that. Okay, so it does pull from this one first, which is good to know. So now that that's full, it's now activated, and it will continue recycling. I can't remember how much paths are worth. 4, 5, 6, something like that. Let's see, what else did I get up to? I also got up to trying to figure out a splitter path for however many inputs to outputs. In this case, it would be 2 outputs. So if you had, like, say, a logger here, and, you know, 2 saw and timber workshops over here, it would work. So, like, if I took, what do I have here? You know, if I took, you know, these bombing sparks and put them in here, they'll grab them and drop them off via a splitter. There should be no issues with running into each other and actually causing a backup. I tested this for a little while. But yeah, this is focused around, obviously you can see a kind of a circular pattern. And the way it's also set up is if they can't deposit into here, like if I took this and, you know, filled these up with excess things and took these over here, they should, I'm pretty sure, do circles around this until they can actually drop everything off. And they shouldn't conflict with each other on the path like this, as far as, like, you know, running into and getting stuck permanently. They might get stuck here. I don't know yet, though. That's kind of a... It's a test. It's a test in progress, and I'm trying to figure it out. But it should drop off the first opportunity that it gets and then re-enter the loop. But yeah, I'm kind of experimenting with how I want to try and set up a splitter with a lot of different, you know, haulers and stuff like that. But yeah, work in progress. I'm working on it. I don't know how many this can actually fit for quantities without them running into each other. I don't know. Let's throw a bunch on here and see what happens. This would probably be the best test to see if they run into each other and can't move anymore, if something's on the line. Looks alright. They're not stopping. Yeah, I would expect the failure point to be right here. But, it seems okay. It seems like it's working. If I put any more on this, it's probably going to fail, though. Let's see what happens. Throw 5 more on there. Hey, I got the hauled trophy. I think that's 25 hauling sparks on one line. And yeah, it's working. It looks stupid, but it's working. That's actually really surprising. I didn't think that that would work that well. But like I said, work in progress. You could probably lengthen this loop like another section if you really wanted to, just to make it guaranteed that it would be a smoother path around. But yeah, no, this is one of the other things I was trying to figure out. I was trying to jam in like a splitter into these 2 setups, and I ended up coming up with this monstrosity over here, trying to fit a splitter path with hauling sparks into like a 3 square wide area, because I wanted to feed 2 different machines. And yeah, it was a whole thing. What are you missing out on? Pebbles, of course. Yeah, so, yep, that's one of the things I was working on. Fun stuff. Let's take these back. Yeah. Take that back. And yeah. So this is my prototype little splitter design that I've got going. We can call these guys back in, and you guys can, I don't know, make a note of it if you want to take a look at this design and try and incorporate it. I mean, it seems like it works. And yeah. Anyway, right. What the heck are we doing in this episode? That's a great question. Okay. We could get that done relatively easily. Fabric. We should probably get started on fabric, shouldn't we? For the Puffy Sparks. Yeah, because we did Boomy Sparks. That's fully automated. Now we should probably do Puffy Sparks as well. Okay, so what do we need? What do we need as far as fabric is concerned? Let's see. Shall we? Fabric. That takes tree bark and rope. I've already got rope set up somewhat around here. It's set up over here. Uh, we do have another tree here. I could get bark from there, and we could link it into here, I think. I've already got a loom set up. I should probably set up another loom, though. Shouldn't I? And if that's the case, I'm going to need to go defeat some penguins. Because I need to probably make another loom. So let's go see if we can go find some of that. Oh, is that a rock Terran? That is a rock Terran. I wanted to test out also to see if these guys can do this all by themselves. So one of them took out a third. Okay, so 8. Alright, so if you get that with the right timing, you could take it out with 8, maybe 9 at most. I kind of messed up the amount there, but okay, if I'm going to set up a farm for fighting those guys, then I would probably want to figure out the issue that I had with motion censoring and only launch the sparks if and when the Terran actually moves or spawns in, which I don't know exactly how I'm going to set that up just yet. But it'll be fun to work out. I know that much. Okay, do we want to do our Puffy Spark automation over here? I mean, I don't have to. I could just focus on the fabric. And then we could do the shrine like over here actually. Actually, yeah, over here, right here would be perfect, I think. Because we would be able to supply to over here relatively easily. Then it's just an issue of the Rocky Sparks, which I don't even know how many of these Puffy Sparks I'm going to need. Like the Scouty Sparks, I do not need to automate just yet. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. Anyway, die. Probably only takes 1. 2 might have been overkill on that guy. I mean, I know where a lot of penguins are. There's like a whole group of them right over here, I'm pretty sure. Let's see, there's also these guys over here. Which, by the way, I got tired of enemies spawning over here, so I put down a scare. I put down an animal scare and turned off these 3 spawns. So, no more enemies. But here are the ones that I was talking about. Okay, looks like it takes 2. That's fine. It's probably for the best that they don't actually aggro on... Yeah, Probably for the best they don't aggro onto them until they explode, but that's okay. I don't know what that thing is, but... Oh, okay. Cool, so that's enough for a few looms. Let's go ahead and get back to what we were doing then. Not too bad, not too bad. Alright. I think I've got a Belephant carapace on me. So, as long as we set this up for bark, that'll be fine. It's over here. Good. Can you take out a big tree by yourself? Yeah, you can. Holy crap. Okay. Well, that was certainly easier than sending in all the choppies. Alright, cool. Right. Let's set you up. Let's set you to bark. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Let's get you guys in here. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and bring that over here. Yeah. Okay. We won't have to travel that far, I don't think. Should just be, like, right over here. Yeah. Little bit of stuff in the way. That's okay. I'm not gonna blow this stuff up, though. That's, seems a little wasteful. There we go. Not bad, not bad. We can set up a hauling spark for this, make it that much easier. Alright, let's get a loom. We'll want to go ahead and... we could probably just go like this, I think. Yeah, that'll work just fine. Alright, we can take this barrel. We can put this over here for now. Set that up for fabric. Okay. Make sure you've got a couple crafty sparks in there. What are you looking at? 22.5 a minute. That's actually pretty fast. And then from here, we can take a crate, thusly. We can just go like that, I think. Extend this path like so. That's good. Let's take this rope and put it over here. I'm pretty sure we can go ahead and just use Let's put two of you on there. I'll take this barrel and leave it here for now. Get a stone path going. Oh, I can't put a stone path here. Ah, okay. That sucks. Right. Okay. Then let's just move it back slightly. What's in the way? Oh, the barrel's in the way. Of course the barrel's in the way. So, move that back slightly. Extend that ever so slightly. Now, can we do this? Yes. Okay. Okay, so from here, we can put a crate down like, I don't know, here? Sure, why not? We'll get our amount filter, set that to 0. We'll take this, set that to 0. And how many more crates do I want to do here? We could do one there and one there. One there. And you know what? I'm going to put a big crate over here. There we go. Yeah. I mean, I could also just take this and move this, like, right here. I could probably also... Or, no, it needs to be slightly longer. 2 spaces. There we go. It's okay. Take our item amount filters, we'll put them on all of these, like so. And I think that's all we need to do. That should be 20 that you're going to drop off there. Yep, that's 20. We could also set up the this way over here and set this one up for 20. So they'll only leave this spot once they've acquired a stack, and you won't have to waste time waiting for them to come back. That way we can also ensure that they're not leaving with just a couple in their inventory. Probably less necessary at the very end of the line, but that's okay. So yeah, now they'll just kind of sit there and wait to grab the 20, and there'll be less time wasted traveling. I think it's much cleaner. We could also do this over here as well, just to make sure that this guy only will leave if he's got 20 and won't deposit. So yeah, he'll only turn around the second that he's grabbed enough, which should only take, what is this, 90 a minute? So 90 and 60 seconds, so it'll only take him like, I don't know, 15 seconds, however long. Whatever. Anyway, so that's set up as far as the automation for rope is concerned. Now, the next question is, how do we get Rocky Sparks over here? Now, we could set up... We could set up something for this over here, but at the same point, I'm also thinking, do I want to just manufacture some sparks to deliver over here? Because we've already got the sparks over here. Like that's not a big problem. I could set up another station over here, because I've already got a train going down this track that's depositing those sparks, the Rocky Sparks. I could easily move that into here. So for that, I could set up a train station like here. That wouldn't really get in the way of much, I don't think. We would have to reroute a little bit of the traffic, but that wouldn't be too bad. That's a possibility. I could also think about maybe setting up another production facility for the Stumpy Sparks, and then just kind of route that into creating more Rocky Sparks. I've got this here. I've got these ones down here I could utilize, along with wood. That could work. And then I've got another Bielefeld spawn here, I know that. I could turn that into all of the ether shards we would need, probably. Would it just be better for me to do that? Just not even worry about this train line? That train line's already supplying 2 different farms. I don't think I want to split it up anymore. Yeah, we should probably just set up another production line of Rocky Sparks, shouldn't we? So I would need to set up another farm for Bielefeld. Pretty easy to do. It can pretty much fund itself as far as Stumpy Sparks are concerned, because you can use the Stumpy Sparks to fight the Bielefeld relatively easily. I think that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, that's probably for the best. And we could set it up over here for creating the Stumpy Sparks, and then route it straight up to here for the Rocky Sparks, and then just go straight into the, or actually that's the hauling spark. We would want to move it way over here. Or I could move up here and hope that there's another workstation. I mean, I could also just do all this over here, but it's kind of closer to this general area. Tell you what, before this episode ends, which is going to be very soon, let's see if there are more workstations over in this general direction, and if there are, then that's going to make this a lot easier for me to make my decision. Yeah, that would be probably for the best if there was at least one more workstation up here. That would be just perfect. Which there are over here. Okay, I think that's what we're going to do then. So we're going to get our fabric, we're going to get our explosives, and we're going to get our hauling sparks. And then we're going to go ahead and get the Mountain Spark R&D 2 done. That'll enable us to put down the requisite workstations for the Puffy Sparks and the Boomy Sparks, but the Boomy Sparks don't matter. I've already got those set up. But the Puffy Sparks is what we want, because we can put the Puffy Sparks in this one, in this Ancient Support, and then we can put the Rocky Sparks we're going to set up in this one, and then they can feed directly into it from there without having to do unnecessary things. Okay, yeah, let's go with that. So our biggest thing we got to do is, one, we have to complete the assignment that we're doing, our little quest. And then we've got to set up another farm for the Bielefant, and then create another workstation to make the Stumpy Sparks. And then from there, it should be pretty smooth sailing, I think. So yeah, first and foremost, we need fabric and explosives. So yeah, once they have or do not have the ability to drop off, they will stay there and they will deposit at the first opportunity. So I should have probably set up a deposit for this at this point. Let's go with a big crate. Thusly, we'll set it up to face this direction, I think. Like so. I don't think I need to really worry about how much you're grabbing from that. And you make stacks of 20 at a time. Okay, that's fine. Of course, it's making one at a time, but that's okay. Okay, so you're all set up to gather all that. Now we need to also make sure that we can grab all the explosives we need. So let's set up that as well, just so we can start accruing some explosives. It's going to be a minute until it all gets set up, but I think we have a backlog of materials. Yeah, we've already got backlogs set up. I should probably set up the item filters for these guys too, but whatever. Is what it is. Oh, I doubled up on the explosive production, by the way. If that wasn't obvious. Let's grab a big barrel. And do I want you to deposit into this before that? Yeah, we might as well. Okay. So any explosives that come through, they're going to immediately go into the big barrel first. So that's going to stop our production of the Boomy Sparks temporarily, just so we can get some of those built up in terms of our quantities and whatnot. Okay, cool. Yeah, good. Good. We've got a plan. So next episode, which I might record today, I don't know yet. We'll see. I'll decide that later. Yeah, next episode we're gonna do our farming. We're gonna set up the Bielefant farm. Well, okay, I don't think I'm gonna get all this done in one episode, but I'm gonna try. We're gonna set up our production of Stumpy Sparks, which it's funny. I set up another machine over here to make Stumpy Sparks. It's right here, and it's making them currently. And I don't have a use for them right now. I could, I guess, like, turn this into another Rocky Spark production, and then just move these guys, all the way over there and do all that stuff, but yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things I just haven't because that would involve me setting up another train line, which I'm not necessarily against. Um, but that train line would then go all the way through all this stuff. I mean, I could set up another thing for coal and all that, which, by the way, I need to get into coal production. So we need to do the furnace quest, which I just need to grab the course for. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff we gotta do. But anyway, if you like the episode, feel free to hit the like button, leave a comment down below, so on and so forth. I will see you all later. Bye bye.